to the first Aeon's in live stream. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, my mic disconnected, and so I had to reconnect my mic because it would have been a silent stream, which would have been a little bit difficult. But we are playing Aeon's In for the first time on stream. This is a game that I have fallen in love with recently. It is a deck building game that's asymmetric. Hey, Beast, how's it going? It's a asymmetric deck building game where it's a cooperative experience where you're taking two different powered mages going up against the what are these called? Um the enemies. I'll remember them here in a second. And each one of these plays vastly different. The mages are all different. They have different cards, they have different abilities, and they're all nemesis. They're all going up against a different nemesis. And the different nemesis are, I think, one of the coolest parts about this game because they are so vastly different. And the design team has done such an incredible job on making all of these nemesis feel very unique. And it's just really cool. So since it is the first time on the channel, we will do a little bit of a overview of the game before we dive into it, just so it's not completely new. And just so it's not completely new, and we're coming from a basis of understanding when we do dive into it. So the goal of the game is to reduce the nemesis's life to 0. Normally, they all have a printed hit points. Now we are playing Experiment 153, which is actually a nemesis that breaks the mold a little bit. And instead of having a dial of hit points of 80 and you have to reduce that to 0, it actually has these 4 like tentacle type things. And each one of those has 20 health. Now we win when we destroy all 4 of the tentacles. So it is 80 health total, but we are focusing our damage around the nemesis. Now these are kind of interesting because throughout the game, these trackers are going to be moving up, and once they get to a certain point, bad things happen to our mages. And so like this one is Gravehold and the mages both suffer 2 damage. Every mage starts the game with 10 health. And then Gravehold is kind of the town that we are protecting. Gravehold has 30 health. And so if Gravehold ever reaches 0, we lose the game. Or if both of our mages ever reach 0, we lose the game. Now, one of the cool things is if your mage reaches 0 in this game, you do not lose. You become exhausted. A couple of bad things happen. And now all damage that you take is 2x dealt to Gravehold. So if you take 4 damage, Gravehold would take 8 instead. That's bad. We try to avoid that. But that's kind of the overview of the high level overview. This is a deck building game, meaning that we're constructing the decks of what we're playing with in game by purchasing them from the market. Now I went ahead and set up a market. You can do this randomly, you can do this strategically, you can do it however. I kind of took the recommended set for Experiment 153, which is the first nemesis in the Outcast box, and put a lot of those cards out and then subbed a couple of them out because I thought some of them looked a little cool. Each one of these cards has a cost in the upper right hand corner. That is the cost that it takes to put it into your deck. So you will have crystals, and as the game goes on, additional gems, which gives you money and allows you to purchase cards. One of the other really unique things about this game is whenever you purchase a card, it will go in your discard pile, but you never shuffle your deck in this game. And so if I bought the Clouded Sapphire, I put it here, and then when I would choose how I wanted to discard these cards. Whenever my deck was empty and I needed to draw more, I would take the entire deck, flip it face down, and that's my new draw pile. And so you can really manipulate what is going to be what you're drawing into and pairing up a couple of cool combos. And so in a lot of deck building games, if this card interacts really cool with the other card, you kind of have to, there's an element of luck and drawing those together. In this game, that is gone. You get to strategically manipulate how you're discarding and how you're buying in order for those to go together, and you can always be hitting that combo each time through your deck. One of my favorite things about the game. What else do I want to talk about before we dive in? Let's talk about the turn order deck. So the other kind of unique thing about this game is that there's not a set turn order. There's this turn order deck, which in a single round, 6 turns are going to be taken. And in a 2-player game, player 1 over here is going to take 2 turns. Player 2 is going to take 2 turns, and the Nemesis is going to take 2 turns. So at the top of the round, we shuffle all of this up. At the beginning of the turn, we flip over. Player 1's going to take a turn. Now, this can lead to some interesting combos where player 1 is taking 2 turns in a row. Oh my goodness. Players take all 4 turns in a row. Then the Nemesis goes twice. And it can be really scary if the Nemesis goes nice. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nelson is playing two-handed? What is happening? That is true. I am playing two-handed. So that's one of the things I think this game really... I mean, I think Marvel Champions as well does a really good job of kind of promoting teamwork. And I've never played this game solo. I don't think I will play this game solo. I think this game works really good two-handed. But speaking of two-handed, I did record a two-handed playthrough. Actually, I've recorded two-handed playthroughs yesterday, and so those should be on the channel here soon. For Marvel Champions, just because I've been enjoying the interactive nature of two-handed. Hey Socratic, how's it going? Two-handed is how you play solo for Mage Knight for Aeon's End or for Champions. Okay, so on a Nemesis turn, what we will do is we will resolve any cards that are in the Nemesis row, and then we'll flip the top card of the deck. This deck is kind of set up pseudo-randomly, where there's a stack of 1 cards that are on top of a stack of 2 cards, and then on a stack of 3 cards, and they are progressively more difficult. There are going to be 9 cards exclusive to Experiment 153, and then the other cards in this deck are made up of basic cards that we randomly put in there. Good for both, actually. You meant Aeon's End. Nice, cool, yeah. I just think it would work so much better with Aeon's End doing two-handed. Yeah. I've actually never played this game solo either, so this is my first time playing it true by myself as well as two-handed. So we'll see how it goes. It's a yeah. What am I missing? Spells. So spells are these yellow cards. Spells deal damage typically. A lot of the times they do other things, and we have our set 4 spells in the market here. Whenever you play a spell, you don't resolve its effect. You actually prep it to what's called an open breach. So this character over here has 2 open breaches, and Zana has no open breaches. Now, we can open these breaches throughout the games, but you have to prep these spells, and then at the beginning of your next turn, you go through the casting phase, which is when the spells go off, and you can assign the damage. The sparks are your basic spells. They deal 1 damage. We would deal 1 damage over here to Experiment 513. What's cool is that these breaches are also kind of modified a little bit, because your breach 4 and 5, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, whenever you have those open, spells do +1 damage. So yeah. New rule. Solo for Aeon's End is weirdly balanced. The original rules only had 3-player turn order cards in the deck, which made it really hard. New rules have 4-player turn order cards for solo, which makes it really easy. Best to do an alternating 4 and 3. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I saw that it was 3. I was like, that seems tough. And like you are losing turns against the Nemesis, as well as restricting decisions. So like, if a lot of these cards will say any player loses 2 health, if you're playing true solo, you don't get a choice. You lose 2 health. And so that seems pretty tough. But the alternating 4 and 3 sounds like a good compromise to do that. So yeah, throughout the game, we're going to be trying to open up these breaches, and so we can cast from them and prep our spells to them. You do not have to cast a spell. So if a spell is in an open breach, it does not have to cast. The only caveat there is that if you ever focus a breach. So right now, this breach, let me see if I can hold it up and let it focus. This breach, and these are all set according to the different player where they are. The top here, 10, is how much it would cost to just open it straight up. The cost in the ring, it says 4 to focus. You would rotate it clockwise, and it makes it easier to open, and then finally you can open it on a If you ever focus a breach and it is not open, you have the option to prep a spell to that breach for that turn. However, you do not have the option of not casting it during the next casting phase. Yeah, you're right. Player health is poorly balanced in True Solo as well. That's what I was reading the setup because I was just kind of curious, and they were saying that you may want to start with like 15 or 20, which feels kind of like a hand wave fix to me. But um, yep. So the last thing I want to talk about, and then we will dive into the gameplay, is um, the I don't even remember what these are called. Anyways, these are like the ultimate abilities. Scraddick, do you remember what these are called? You charge up ability. Um, at any point, you can buy charges for 2 money, 2 aether, and once you have filled up your bottom row here, so you get to activate an ability that is unique to the mage that you are playing. So the mage over here says cast any player's prep spell without discarding it, and then cast that prep spell again. And so we have a really quick way, and there's 2 benefits here. One, you get to cast it twice. That's the obvious benefit. The not so obvious benefit is that you get to cast it before a casting phase. You can prep a spell and then immediately cast it, which does accelerate a little bit, especially if you know that the nemesis is about to take a turn. And a lot of these minions have persistent abilities. You think it's just called their ability? Sweet. Okay, thank you. Persistent abilities, and so those are going to trigger. So if you can kill it before the nemesis takes their turn, that's really big. And so let's look at those real quick. So cast any player's prep spell without discarding it, then cast that spell again, then you would discard it. And then over here we have activate during any player's main phase. Gravefold gains 5 life. So it starts at 30. We lose if it's at 0. Gravefold healing is fairly uncommon, and so 5 life is pretty good. And then place 2 glyph tokens on top of any card in the supply. This character's special ability is placing these glyph tokens out, which whenever an ally, and an ally in this game refers to another mage, not yourself, buys the card where this glyph token is placed, either Zana or the ally who bought the charge gets that benefit. I will say the few playthroughs I saw, the game looked pretty difficult. Are you talking from a sense of challenging, or are you talking in a sense of complication? Like, is it like rules wise you thought it looked difficult, or from like this is a really tough game to play? And so she's going to be placing these out here, and then we can manipulate. Okay, we really want to focus this breach, and so we can do that. Or Sana can help focus her breach. Rules and the ability to win, actually. Yeah, it's one of the things that is fun about this game is that it's different than a lot of other games, and there's a learning curve to the game. And I'm not saying that I have mastered that whatsoever, but it is a lot different than a lot of the other games because of the way that things go through. And I will try and talk through pretty methodically on what I'm trying to do. And I think I have the rules down, but please, if I make a rule mistake, please let me know. But yes, one of the things in this game that I have found is that support is one of the stronger things you can do, and healing is one of the stronger things you can do. And it's going to be very, very difficult to win this game without ever supporting or having a healer at the table. It's hard to rush this game, and the nemesis is going to throw a lot at you, and you have to have ways to counter that. And so these big offensive mages that are huge and great and epic, they really can't succeed if you don't have someone on the backstage kind of working through and helping them do that. Okay, let's talk about our market. So the market is always consists of 3 gems, 2 relics, and 4 spells. You get to choose these however you would like. I love the champion stat. Oh yeah, yeah. So usually I use these D10s because everything pretty much has 10 health, and so I would have this here and have D10, and these are actually spin down. I traded for Aeon's and the core set, and they came with the spin down dials, and I was so happy because I've been looking for these for a while. But our nemesis is using all of our D10s, so We're using the champion style, so everyone starts with 10. Okay. So here for 3 cost, we have gain 2 or deal 1 damage to a minion. And so it has the little flexibility of dealing out damage. Minions are going to be monsters that appear from the monster deck. We have Diamond Cluster, gain 2. If this is the second time you've played Diamond Cluster this turn, gain an additional 2. So it's 2 or 6 if you play 2 of them. Total, I should say. Clouded Sapphire, game 3. If this is the first time you play Clouded Sapphire this turn, any ally gains 1 charge. Destiny Forger, any ally may destroy a card in hand. Then that ally gains a card costing up to 2 more than the destroyed card and places it in their hand, or destroy this and gain 2 charges. We have Ethereal Hand. Any ally draws 2 cards. Fortified Frost, cast. So this is when, not when you prep it, but when it actually goes off. Deal 2 damage. You can discard a card in hand. If you do, deal 1 additional damage. Twisted Fang, cast, deal 3 damage. If this card supply pile is empty, deal 1 additional damage. Don't make me buy this game. Dude, you should buy this game. You should buy this game. What's nice is that a box is self-contained. It's great. It's great. Essence Thief, deal 3 damage. You can discard a hand. If you do, any player gains 1 life. Game is great. It really is. It is a phenomenal game. Yes. And then Tornado of Insight, cast, deal 5 damage. If you have no closed breaches, gain 1 charge. So the ways that the mechanics interact with the designers of this game are very, very impressive. Let's read Experiment 135 real quick. So every single Nemesis has an Unleash ability, and that is going to allow cards in here to say Unleash twice, and then each Nemesis then activates their Unleash ability. The Unleash ability here is move any Maw token, these tokens, 2 space forward towards the end of its track. When you move a Maw token onto its space with an effect, resolve that effect. If a Maw token starts to move forward any number of spaces while it's at the end of the track, instead resolve the effect on its space it's currently on. When a player would deal damage to Experiment 153, that player deals all their damage to a single Maw instead. When you deal 3 or more damage in one instance to a Maw, move that Maw taken back 1 space. And so hey Starry, how's it going? I'm excited to have you here. So there is a manipulation, and we'll read these Maw spaces and everything, but how we can pull these back and make, just manipulate it a little bit. And then also when it's on the 1st or 4th space, it can't move back. It's kind of caught there. When a Maw is reduced to 0 life, discard the token and move another token back 2 spaces. The player's win if the growth mat has no Maws on it. So our far left Maw over here, Greyfold suffers 2 damage, any player suffers 2 damage, and then the top part, if we get there, it's a worse effect of the lesser effect. Greyfold suffers 4 damage, any player suffers 4 damage, and then the players collectively discard 4 cards in hand. So as part of the startup, we had to move 2 of these Maws 1 space forward, so I did that, hopefully being able to move them back at some point. But I chose the ones that deal damage to Greyfold because we have a mage here that can kind of offset that. And so for 5 charges, we can heal 5 damage on Greyfold. So that's kind of why I chose the ones that dealt damage to Greyfold. Every mage has a starting hand, as well as a starting... every mage I have seen has a unique card or cards. So over here we have 2, whereas we have 1 for our player 1. So Moonstone Shard, gain 1 money, gain an additional money that can only be used on a gem. And then Zana's is gain 1 or place 1 glyph token on the top card of any card in the supply. So they play into their play styles a little bit, and so yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover before we just dive into it. I'll try and explain a little bit more as we're going through, but let's get it. Okay, so turn order deck, we shuffle up, and we will have player 1 take our first turn. Okay, so 5 cards in hand, and during the main phase, you can cast, you can spend, you can do whatever. One last thing is you cannot optionally discard cards from your hand at the end of the turn. That being said, you can play crystals and gems and relics and all of that for their intended effect at any time. However, if you cannot prep a spell, that spell is in your hand. You cannot discard that spell at the end of your turn. But we will go ahead. We have 2 open breaches. We'll prep 2 sparks. We've got a Moonstone Shard that gives us 1 Aether, and 1 Aether that can only be used to get a gem. We have a crystal which gives us 1, and a crystal which gives us 1. We're going to go ahead and buy this diamond cluster because we have an additional 1 to buy the gem. That goes at the bottom of the deck, and then we can discard these however we would like. I'm going to put the Moonstone Shard next to the diamond cluster because I kind of want to buy another diamond cluster to pair those up, and then we'll place the 2 crystals there. And that's turn 1. Okay, and we get turn 2. At the end of your turn, you're supposed to draw up to your hand size, which I did not do. This is also going to be set by your starting deck. Love Diamond Clutch. It's so good. I love it. I love it because you can manipulate him, put them together, and it's just like, cool. That's fun. So at the start of my turn, I go through my casting phase. So we will deal 1 instance of 1 damage, 1 instance of 1 damage, and then those go here. We will... What do we want to kill? Probably go here. The other thing that I have realized after playing Experiment 153 is you don't really want to kill you don't really want to kill the Maws before you're ready to kill other Maws, because hey BB, Evil Rabbit, afternoon. Hope you're well. I am. I hope you're doing great. Because there are going to be cards in his deck that are in their deck that pull some of these Maws or push some of these Maws forward, and if you've destroyed a Maw, you no longer have the option of choosing that Maw to move. And so I try and like evenly disperse my damage. Speaking of, we're gonna prep. We got 3. I just realized I don't have a 3 cost anything. Let's go with a... Go here. Oval Knight. So gain 2 money or deal 1 damage and silence a minion. So that's going to go there. We're going to draw up to our hand size. So when we do that, we flip this face down. We draw a 5, 2, 4, 5. So we kind of know what this is going to be. It's going to be the Diamond Cluster, the Moonstone Shard, Crystal, and the Spark. Now we know that there's going to be at least 4 turns before Jin? Does anyone know how to pronounce that? Goes again. So let's go with the Nemesis. So Nemesis, we're going to check to see if there's any cards currently in play. Resolve them from oldest to newest. There are not. And then we will flip the top card. So this is Cascading Casualties. So discard, 2 discard, spend 5 money. Power 2. That means that we're going to place 2 tokens on this card. And during the Nemesis' turn, we will remove a token. If it's the last token that we removed, we'll resolve this ability. Move the Maw token farthest from the start 2 spaces forward. This causes an effect to resolve on the track. Resolve that effect 1 additional time. So I want to get rid of that very, very badly, because that's going to hurt. Okay. Flip into player 2. So we got... I know from the starting deck that I have a Spark coming. That being said, I probably want to have a spot to put the Spark. Have you looked at Astro Knights? It's a sci-fi version of Aeon's End, but plays differently. I have not. I have heard about it. I've heard good things about it, but I have not ever played it. But I do want to try it. I do really want to try it at some point. That being said, opening the breach would be good, but I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which could discard this. It prevents me from building. It's very good. Okay, sweet. Astro Knights has a new box on Kickstarter right now. Oh no, my my wallet. No, I need to do it. I saw that Man vs. Meeple was doing a playthrough yesterday. I wasn't able to watch, but it looked pretty good. It's very good. Different. Oh, it is. Okay, so that was my main concern, was it different enough from Aeon's End? And if it is, then I would absolutely be interested in taking it. The villains I think are slightly better in Astronites, but the heroes are slightly better in Aeon's End. Okay, that's impressive because I think the villains in Aeon's End are so freaking cool. Um, Worth having both. Okay, okay. Well, that's good to know. Dangerous. That's very dangerous. um, so the way that I have this pictured is player. I need to figure out how to pronounce her name or his name, their name. Jin. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call them Jin. Jine. Um, and she's gonna, or they are gonna be our main damage dealer, and we're gonna be playing kind of support over here. Oh, villains are 100% their own decks, no neutral cards. Okay, that's good. I think yeah, that is really nice. That is really nice. So that being said, I could open next turn and prep. So we're just gonna get rid of this. We're just gonna get rid of cascading casualties, just because I really don't want to have Greyfold suffer that much. You know what? Honestly, if Greyfold suffers that much damage, it's not the end of the world. Because we can choose to have Greyfold suffer 4 damage, resolve it again, which is 8 damage, which is less than 2 triggers of our ability. So, with that being said, I may be willing to sacrifice Greyfold's health in order to build more. I think I am. Um, we know that Diamond Cluster is going to be bought here soon. We have gain a card that costs 3 less from any pile. We have Focus Your Closed Breach. We have you may cast one of your prep spells or gain 1 charge. So let's do this. Let's do 2, 4 to open our 4th breach. Then we have Glyph Carver. So place 1 glyph token on any supply pile. We're going to place it up here on the Diamond Cluster. We're going to discard with the Glyph Carver on top, and we will draw back up to 5. One of the hardest things, and what I've learned after playing, I played 4 two-handed games of Marvel Champions yesterday because I wanted to get a little bit of, well, one, I missed a complete rule when I was filming, but I wanted to try it before I filmed it, is that I need to have, I'm going to put decks here. They're going to, or my hands here under, they're going to be off screen, but I was getting all the cards mixed up where I was placing them. Usually, like if I only have one hand of cards, I just hold on to it. But if I'm holding with 2, that gets kind of confusing. So I'm going to standardize by placing the cards right under the player mat, and that's going to help a little bit. Okay, so we're going to flip here. It's number 2 again. Okay, so we have a Glyph Carver, 3 crystals, and a Spark. We'll go ahead and prep the Spark to Breach 4, which does +1 damage on cast, which is pretty great. I got my first playthrough with SPDR last night with the precon. I hate having 3 hands. Yeah, it's a fun deck build. It's really fun to deck build for her because like Lockjaw, which is not in her precon, but like Lockjaw is a really interesting card because you have so many resource generators on the table, and like just finding other ways to spend those resources without needing to draw into cards to spend those resources on is a really cool mechanism, I thought. But I do think that she requires some decent deck building. We're gonna spend 4 here to take a Destiny Forger. Destiny Forger allows an ally to trash a card from their hand and gain a card up to 2 more, which is really good. I have found. I'm going to flip that down and draw 5. Glyph Carver, Crystal, 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 Crystal. Also, one of the things that I enjoy, and I enjoy mixing and matching them, but every single all the big box expansions are core sets. You can buy any of the big box expansions, and you have a game that you can play right out of the box. You do not have to buy the core set for this game, but each one of the different expansions has different art for the crystals and sparks, and I thought that's really fun. She's fun. I just hated the three hand size. Paying for things isn't a problem. You just can't do much in a turn because of the three hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely interesting. And so like I really like her running her with like Avengers Tower or Avengers Mansion, and just like other ways to manipulate and grow that hand size. Symbiote suit probably honestly because she has Host Spider, she has the ready, she can manipulate that pretty well. We got a Nemesis, so we check here. We go from oldest to newest. We're gonna remove one, and then we're gonna flip into the Corrupting Chitterer. 6 health. Move Maul tokens on two tracks, one space forward. And it has 6 health. That does not trigger. It only will trigger next time we draw a Nemesis card. Ugh, that's gonna be gross. I hate minions. I hate minions so much. Okay, up next is number 1. Okay, so we are going to go Spark Spark, and we're going to hit this minion. Take it down to 4. We've got a Spark here. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 that can be used on gems. We are going to go ahead and buy the Diamond Cluster. Then that leaves us with 2 or 1, which is not what we need. But we can go ahead and pair the Diamond Clusters together. We're actually going to split up the Moonstone Shard and the Diamond Cluster a little bit, because the Diamond Cluster is going to be a lot of buying power. The Moonstone Shard can help a different hand with some buying power in the future. We got Spark. Also, you will shuffle when you, or not shuffle, you will create a new draw deck when you need to draw, not when you deck out in this game. Also, these are Mayday. I wish I brought his sleeves, but like the Mayday premium green sleeves that I was using in my last Arkham campaign, I did not like. I really like these Mayday sleeves. They're like, I want to say they're called like Police Precinct or something. It was like a weird name. I don't know if that's actually like a game, but they feel very very nice. They feel very very nice. I'll see if I can find those. I need to shuffle better apparently. Okay, we're gonna go Spark here for 1 down to 3. We'll prep a Spark. So we've got 2 or 3. Oh, and I needed a charge because I bought the gain 1 charge up here. So we've got 3 or 5, and we can deal a damage here. I think we're gonna deal a damage here. We're gonna use this to deal a damage because this Spark can then kill the cluster. And then we've got 3. I really wish I had put something 3 in here, but again, like I don't want to dilute the deck, and so it's nice because we can just instead spend like 3 here and focus that, and you have other outlets for money rather than putting cards and diluting the deck. We will go here. We go 2, 4, 5. Turn order. Come on, be number 2. It is. So we have this Spark go off, which deals 1 + 1 damage because we're on breach 4, which will kill the Corrupting. Took her up against Mysterio. Oh, Mysterio and her is pretty nasty. Used Ant-Man Uncle Ben with an encounter card. Was at the top of your deck. Nice. But yeah, Mysterio and her are not great because Mysterio is flooding your hand with other stuff, and she doesn't have the flexibility to really do that. Okay, so we got 2, 4, 5, or 4, and place a glyph token. I think we're gonna place a glyph token out there. We're gonna place Focus Closed Breach just because I want to get some extra damage breaches open, especially for her Black Mirror ability. What are they buying? Okay, so 2, 6, 7. We'll go here. Tornado of Insight. Because it'll be nice to get these open. And then Tornado of Insight gets the charges, which just kind of like is a snowball effect. So that was the Glyph Carver. Then we've got 4 money. Should we go Diamond Cluster for Zana as well? We could. We absolutely could. It would also be nice to just get a good spell for her. We could Destiny Forger. We really could just Destiny Forger again. But let's go for let's buy the Diamond Cluster. Those pairing those up just feels so good. You thought the opposite on it, opposite honestly, because you only have 3 hand size. You aren't drawing the. Oh, that's true. I forgot that they don't go in your hand. I was thinking Mystique, where the encounter cards actually enter your hand. 2, 4, 5. Oh, we got the Destiny Forger. Come on, Nemesis. Okay, so we go here. This now triggers. Move the mall token furthest from the start 2 spaces forward. There's a tie, so we get to choose. We're going to go 1, 2. Gravefold's going to suffer 4 damage. If that causes it to suffer an ability, we do it again. So we're going to go down to 22 on Gravefold. And then this gets discarded. But because we can heal Gravefold very easily in this game, relatively easily in this game, it's nice. And then we draw another card. Bound. Any player gains 2 cursed shards from the... Oh, no. Or move 1 Maw token space, or 3 spaces forward. I may do that just because I don't have the cursed tokens with me. They're somewhere else. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna move 1 Maw token 3 spaces forward. 1, 2, 3. Mainly because I don't know where the cursed tokens are. Nemesis again. 2 discard, spend 6. Power 3, unleash. Any player suffers 2 damage. The players collectively discard 2 cards in hand. Gross. We have 3 turns before that goes off. So. Yeah. And we can always pull these back. So. By dealing damage to it. So. Last turn, we've got player 2. We're going to play Destiny Forger. So an ally may discard or destroy a card in hand and gain 1 up to 2 more than that. We're going to destroy a Spark and get a Fortified Frost into our hand. Zana is going to... we got a 4 for a Diamond Cluster. Is that going to put the Diamond Cluster near... No, it's not. The Diamond Clusters are not going to be near each other. So probably don't want to buy the Diamond Cluster yet. But with a... or we could go 3. Or we could go 4 and just start filling this up. May want to do that. I'm actually going to read her rules real quick because I want to check and see if I can have 2... Yeah, it looks like you can have multiple glyph tokens on the same card. And so I may throw that there. And we've got a 3. It's hard not to buy the Destiny Forgers. The Destiny Forgers are so good. We got 3. We're gonna buy a charge. We're gonna discard with the Destiny Forger on top. We'll draw 5. 2, 4, 5. There's our Diamond Cluster. So we can buy the Diamond Cluster this time around, and then we'll have the Diamond Clusters paired up. So that'll be nice. Okay, we get to shuffle this up. Figure out how to do this so that the nemesises aren't right next to each other. Okay. Turn 1. Player 2. Okay. So we got 2, 3, 4, which is going to be a diamond cluster for us. We'll cast this, or we'll prep a spark, and then we got a glyph carver. This is, yeah, okay. So gain a card that costs 3 or less is not a. Honestly, I think that is kind of bad. Mainly because 3 or less cards are diluting your deck. And I don't want to flood a deck with 3 or less cards. So it's like you may cast one of your prep spells. That sounds fine. I guess. And I think I said it, but only when an ally buys the card can we trigger the effect. So cast one of our prep spells. Let's go here with the Clouded Sapphire. We'll see what happens. Clouded Sapphire's never... Yeah, it may get bought. Okay. So we'll discard Diamond Cluster first to pair these two up. And then we got Glyph Carver next and then our crystals. And I draw 5. Did I have 6? No, I didn't have 6. Destiny Forger again. It's a very, very good card. Next up, we've got number 2 again. So we will cast and deal 2 damage. Do I have a spark? I don't have a spark. I'm just going to leave this here. And the reason I'm doing that is if I deal 3 damage to one of the maws, it gets to move back. However, this is only dealing 2 damage. It's taking it out of my deck to draw my like building cards quicker. And I'd rather focus this on a minion rather than Experiment 513. So let's Destiny Forger again. Oh, we actually Destiny Forgers twice, which is pretty funny. Because what we can do... I guess it's probably better to take the Spark into a Fortified Frost. But we could take the Fortified Frost into like a Twisted Fang. But we'll take the Spark into a second Fortified Frost. We got either 3 or 4. We're going to do 4. We're going to do 4. Okay, so with the 4, we have a couple options. We can focus, we can buy charges, or we could Destiny Forger again, which would just be crazy, right? That'd be fun, but it'd be insane. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Destiny Forger, and we can just start really going crazy. Should we pair the Destiny Forgers up? Because we could Destiny Forger. So we could take a 2 into a 6. Yeah, why not? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now our diamond clusters are paired up and we're happy. I'm going to drink some coffee. Yeah, this works pretty well two-handed. It's not super brain burny, which is nice. Next up, we got the Nemesis, so we'll remove 1. We'll draw here. Unleash. The player with the most charges suffers 2 damage and gains a charge. So Unleash, we move a Maw token 2 spaces forward. Move that one over. 2-player, 2-handed is the best way to play. I've played 4-player, I've played 3-player, I've played 2-player. I've not played true solo. I think 2-player is the best. 2-player feels very good. So like in a higher player game than 4-player, you have 2 Nemesis and then a 1, 2, 3, 4 player card turn order deck. And in a 3-player game, 3-player is interesting to me because you have a 1, 2, 3, and you have a wild. When you draw the wild, the group gets to choose who gets to go. True solo is easier. Okay, interesting. I thought it would be harder. But yeah. So we get to choose here. We're gonna have Zana take the 2, or Zahana, and gain a charge. Also, when I traded for the game, they had like these like crystal tokens that you get from like a hobby store, and they use that. We use those for the charges now. You get so many turns with the same deck, you get the comp. That's true. That is true. Alrighty. There we go. Number 1. We do have 2 spells, so we'll go ahead and cast this spark. We will tick that down to 7. We'll prep. We've got 2, 6, 7. We'll discard this. Any player suffers. Oh, it has an unleash as well. Do that instead of the Tornado of Insight. Actually, a 7 could just open this breach. Any player suffers 2 damage. The players collectively discard 2 cards in hand. Is that worth it? Is that worth it? I think that may be worth it. Okay, so what we're going to do instead, we're not going to cast this spark, so we're going to place our health back here. We're just going to open this breach. We're going to prep to here. Hopefully that's fine. 2, 4, 5. But now, when we cast off of here with the Fortified Frost, we get to move a Maul token backwards. Moonstone. Perfect. Got 1 again. Okay, so we're going to cast and deal 3 damage. And I can discard a card in my hand to deal 1 additional damage. I don't think I need to deal 4, but I may do it for this Fortified Frost so I can move a token back again. And Unleash moves the tokens forward 2 spaces, and so we want to have tokens where they will not trigger an effect whenever they get moved back. And so let's go ahead and deal 3 here. Moves it back, so now that's a target for an Unleash, because there's 2 open spaces before it actually triggers anything. We got 2, 4, 6. Okay. Yeah. We're going to cast here. How are you liking this game? Hey, Data Dude. I love this game. This game is so good. There's so much variety in the setups between mages and nemesis and market. It is so cool, and it just like works so well because there's not a ton of randomness in the game because you never shuffle your deck, so you get to really set your deck to where you want to kind of focus your combos. It's a very, very satisfying game. Highly recommend. We are going to if we discard a card, we have 2, 3, 4, 5. It's been gathering dust in your basement for a few years. Glad to have a reason to pull it out. Have you played it before, or have you not been able to play it yet? 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. We have the spark. I really want that Clouded Sapphire. I'm going to discard the spark, which is kind of sad. But we're going to discard the spark to deal 3 damage to this guy up here. So that's going to move the Maul token back. Mainly, I don't want Gravehold to get hit for 9. Didn't actually play it. You should. You absolutely should. It's a really good favorite second co-op solo game. It's very, very solid. This and Spirit Island right now. Spirit Island is my favorite game. They compete for table space. Not in the sense of like they're the same. It's like I love them both so much and I want to play them both all the time. We have a spark here. We're gonna just keep the spark there. We've got 2, 3, 4 that can be used on a gem. 6, we'll grab a clouded sapphire. So gain 3 money. This is the first time you play clouded sapphire this turn. Any ally gains a charge. Do you prefer those 2 over Marvel Champions? No. Yes. Maybe. It's hard. I kind of have reached a point in my life where I don't necessarily consider Marvel Champions, Lord of the Rings, Arkham to be in like the same realm of board games. I think of those as 2 separate things. I have a really hard time saying that I like Spirit Island more than Marvel Champions or Lord of the Rings, and I have a really hard time saying the opposite as well. And so I will say that my favorite game is Marvel Champions. I will say that my favorite game is Lord of the Rings. I will say that my favorite game is Spirit Island. Just going off of like number of plays, it's definitely Marvel Champions. I have 10x the number of plays. They're all so good. They're all so good. So I just have a really hard time with trying to figure that one out. Out of the LCGs, I think Lord of the Rings is probably my favorite, honestly. So Nemesis. We discard 1. We're gonna flip ambush. Unleash. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. Any player suffers 1 damage. So we're unleashing. So we're gonna go 1, 2. So that is now a target for an unleash. We can do that. Actually, we're gonna do that one because that I would rather have Gravehold suffer 2 damage, a player suffer 2 damage, rather than a player suffer 4 damage. Gravehold suffers 2 damage, so we're down to 20. And then any player suffers 1. We're at 8, and we'll go over here for 9. Okay. Hopefully, we get another player turn. I need to get this Tornado of Insight. And now, when I focus the breach with the lowest cost, it's my level 4. That's pretty cool. Okay, we've got number 1. Oh, that's big. That's really big. Okay, so we got 6. I'm going to get rid of this. I can't just spend 6 to get rid of that. We got 3 here. So 3 extra. We're just going to buy a charge. We'll discard. Oh, such a sigh of relief when you're able to buy off that power right before. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Okay. Number 1 again. This time we will cast this spark because we have 3 spells in our hand. I want to be cycling my deck. So that deals 1 damage, 1 whole damage. We'll go here. Why not, right? We'll cast a Fortified Frost here, a Fortified Frost here, and a Spark here. We're going to play Clouded Sapphire, which gains us 3 money. If this is the first time you've played Clouded Sapphire, any ally gains 1 charge. So we're going to give a charge over here. And then we've got 2 more for a 5. Ooh, okay. So we could buy this, or we could cast any players. We could fill up and trigger the ability. Cast any player's prep spell without discarding it. Cast that spell again. So we could do 6 damage and move a token 2 spaces back, or 2 tokens 1 space back. If we do that, yeah, I think I want to do that. So actually, before I prep this one, I guess we're gonna buy the 2 charges. We're losing out on money. We'll trigger this. We're gonna deal 3 damage. We can discard a card to do an additional damage. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna deal 3 damage. We'll go here. Take that maul down to 14 and move it back because we did an instance of 3 or more damage. So now if we unleash, that's a safe unleash. And then we will cast it again, so 3 more damage. We don't have any more that are safe unleashes, so let's just get one. Let's go over here. 1, 2, 3. Move that back. The reason that it's doing 1 damage is it's on breach 3, and so it gets additional damage. Then that just gets discarded, and then we will prep Fortified Frost to that one. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. But I may not would have done that if I had another turn coming. But the Nemesis is going to take 2 turns before we take another turn with our player 1, and so there's just I'd rather kind of set it up, especially because they are our damage dealer. I want to make sure that we have flexibility over there. Got 3 diamond cluster, diamond cluster. Gotta love it. Nemesis. Ooh, a caustic cocoon. Persistent unleash. Gravefold suffers 1 damage. That is 9 health. That's gross. We gotta kill that thing. Ow. Nemesis. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Unleash. So we'll go 1, 2. Gravefold suffers 1 damage. And we're gonna draw a card. Unleash twice, any player loses 2 charges, or unleash twice, any player suffers 3 damage. That's bad. That's going to be bad because we are going to trigger another one of those abilities. Let's unleash twice and we'll lose 2 charges. We got 1 safe one here. So we can go Gravefold suffers 2, any player suffers 2, any player suffers 4. I don't think I want to do that. Players discard cards from their hand. That's not horrible, actually. If we discard cards, that's not the end of the world. Let's do that. So the players collectively discard 4 cards in hand. Astronauts is the sci-fi version of Aeon's that's rapidly moving up the rankings too. Yeah. So we'll discard 2 crystals here. We'll discard a Moonstone Shard first, actually. So we got 3 there. The reason we're doing that, we got 1 there. The reason we're doing that is now we can buy 3, 4 charges so we can fill up. Oh. And then we have the diamond clusters here, which we can buy the 6 spell. I need to try Astronauts. I need to. That was brutal. That was brutal. But now we got 2. We will spark, deal 2 damage here. We got 2, 6, 8 to buy 2, 4. So we're full. Activate during any player's main phase. Gravefold gains 5 lives. Play 2 glyph tokens. I want to place these 2 glyph tokens back out there, so I don't think I will. I don't think that I'm going to activate that right now. But we have it on call, so that's nice. And we're going to take another turn with her because, boom. Oh my goodness, 2 Destiny Forgers. Oh no, we have the Clouded Sapphires though. That's actually really sad. I should have thought about that. We have the Destiny or the Diamond Clusters in our hand. We could Diamond Cluster into Tornado of Insight twice. Huh. That's interesting. Now I have to look at, is it whenever you gain or buy? When now an ally gains a card, so we could trigger that ability as well. Might as well do that, right? At some point, we've got to morph it into a... Oh, okay. Oh, this is going to be cool. This is going to be cool. Check this out. Okay, so we're going to play Destiny Forger. So an ally may destroy a card in hand. That ally may gain a card that costs up to 2 more than the destroy card and place it into their hand. We're going to destroy a Diamond Cluster and then gain a Tornado of Insight. When we gain the Tornado Insight, it goes into our hand, and we get to trigger this. Focus your closed breach with the lowest focus cost once. gain 1 charge. Now, that's Destiny Forger. Now we're going to trigger this. Oh my gosh, this is fun. I love this game. We're going to trigger this. This gets Gravehold 5 life, so we're going to go back up to 24. And then we can place 2 glyph tokens on top of any card in the supply pile. We're going to go back here. We're going to play Destiny Forger. We're going to Destiny Forger a Diamond Cluster into a Tornado of Insight. We'll get to trigger these 2 again. So we get a charge, and we get to focus this breach. And we get another Tornado of Insight. Now, it'd be really cool if we could open this breach, because Tornado of Insights then just go crazy because it's deal 5 damage. If you have no closed breaches, gain 1 charge. And so it's like, you can see how this can kind of snowball. And once we get 4 money, we get to open. Oh my gosh, this game is so cool. Anyways, we have more parts for this turn. We'll go 2 money to buy a charge over here. And then we'll use this to play the Focus Breach on Tornado of Insight. Actually, I don't even know if I'm ever getting to 6 money again. But I can Destiny Forger into the Tornado of Insight. So we're good. Yeah. That's fun. That's really fun. We're going to discard with the Destiny Forgers on top. And we'll draw back up. All the crystals. Okay. Sparks, crystals. What a sad hand. But we get to shuffle this. We need to kill that Caustic Cocoon. That's going to be bad. That's going to be real bad. We do have a safe unleash now because we discarded those cards. Oh my gosh. And then Tornado of Insight with the Black Mirror. It's going to be insane. I am so pumped for this. Let's go. Give me. Yes. 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 Oh my gosh. The Tornado of Insights. I forgot that those are coming. Okay, so we'll deal 3, 4 to take this down to 3. Then we'll prep Tornado of Insights. We'll draw into a crystal, 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 spark, fortified frost. Next is the Nemesis. So unleash. 1, 2. Gravehold suffers 1 damage. Down to 23. Draw a card. No, it's the Humming Hive. This says 3 shield. And 5 health. I forgot how shield works. I think shield blocks any amount of damage coming in at it. So if we have this, the shield will block any amount of damage coming in. Persistent. Any player suffers 2 damage. Player 2. How did you decide what's in your draft pool to buy? Over here. So how did I... So, BB, I know you've played the game, so I'm going to explain it both ways. The way you can do it is you can do random, you can do constructed, you can do however you wanted to do it. This is a mix of both. And so Experiment 513 is the first boss in the Outcast box. And they have a recommended setup to go. And I kind of modified that recommended setup with some cards that I thought looked cool. You randomly draw 6 spells, 3 of relics, and 5. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I was playing with McKay, who is Geek Sprout Gaming, who I want to have on the channel and play this game at some point. But the way that we did it when we play is we would deal them out randomly, and we were able to sub out X number. And so if we wanted to like switch 2 of these, but I like the way that you do it. Draw 6 spells, 3 relics, 5 gems. That's a cool way to do it. I like that. Nice. I just drew this, right? Yeah, I just drew this. So we'll cast a spark. We got 4. At some point we're gonna have to deal damage, but So what I need to do is I need to figure out a way to help deal some damage. And that typically means opening breaches. Do I just go Destiny Forger again? Do I just It would be nice to be able to start drawing more cards here. Then after a game, I randomly draw 3 spells and 2 gems with 1 relic, and have to swap at least one from each group. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Have you played the Legacy? So there are 2 Legacy games for Aeon's End. We played the first one, Aeon's End Legacy, not the Legacy of Gravefold, and had a phenomenal time. I really enjoyed that. Has anyone else played that? Because it's really good. It's I you get I won't spoil anything for anybody, but like there's a lot of customization of your mage and you're like growing. You played the second one, it's really good. And I've heard the second one's better, which is crazy because I had so much fun with the first one. I need to go pick up the second one because yeah. Um we're actually gonna grab here. No, we're not. I don't want to do that. Um ah. You loved the first Legacy, you didn't care for the second one as much. Oh, interesting. I'm looking forward to future and past the new expansion. I have it down in the basement in Shrink. I'm excited to play it. That's interesting that you didn't care for the second one because I've heard not that. I've heard that people thought that the second one was better, and then the first one, uh, the first one either people didn't like or they enjoyed it, but they liked the second one more. So that's interesting. I'm going to play it regardless because it's fun. But Future and Past is really good. The new Nemesis are super good. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, nice. I need to figure out what I'm doing with my money. Uh, we could just Destiny Forger our way to hopefully getting a victory over here. We could do giving Greyfold more life. This is going to be bad. This is going to be really tough. Um, so I think we need to figure out how to deal damage. The way that we're going to do damage. Let's grab a Twisted Fang. A Twisted Fang, actually two Fortified Frost, but I don't want them to be paired up. Twisted Fang pulls a thing back, so we're gonna go with Twisted Fang. 2, 4. The first one is great to. Oh yeah, it really is because it does, add the rules in a really good manner. Oh, that's a pretty good hand. That Cluster, Crystal, Glyph, and Destiny. I'll take it. Come on, not Nemesis. Number 1. Okay. Okay. Um the shield tokens prevent all damage coming in, right? Like it's a you ping 1 shield, right? I'm pretty sure that's it. We need a safe. Oh, we don't have a safe. Oh no. Okay, so any player suffers 2 damage. That's gonna be bad. We're gonna go. We're gonna take out this minion. All damage is prevented. Just remove 1 shield. Gross. Dislike. Dislike that. And we got 5. Actually, we have 6 damage coming in. Here. So that gives us a safe unleash. But I don't like it. We're down to 10, 18, 14, and 17. But the other thing that is hard about this game when first approaching it is that the ramp is kind of hard to understand. The ramp in this game is very exponential, where you will go from like nothing, nothing, nothing to like 40 damage in like a round. And understanding when to make that switch is one of my favorite things about the game because every single game that I've played, It feels like there is a time where the players collectively make the decision to say, we go all out. If anyone's read enemy or Ender's Game, I always kind of like to think about it like the enemy's gate is down, right? So the objective is set forth. We have to kill the nemesis, and the enemy's gate is down. Ignore everything. Go after the enemy, and that is such a fun decision because at that point it becomes a race, and it's not managing minions and building up your deck. It's like our decks are good enough that we can win before we lose, and that's fun. A turning point is where you start going faces. Really, oh yeah, and it's so like nerve wracking too because you're like you like look over. It's like, can we do it? Are we doing it? Are we doing it? No. Okay, we'll wait a turn. And it's just like everyone has to be on the same page, but it's fun. The end game comes quickly if you time it. Yeah, very much. Yeah. Anyways, what am I doing? Oh, we just cast. So let's go Fortified Frost here, Spark here. We've got 3. We'll just buy a charge. We'll draw up. We've got Shield Destroyer here. Alrighty. Turn order number 2. And then the last one is a Nemesis, which is sad. But any player suffers 2 damage. Yeah, it's not great, but we'll probably kill off over here. Okay, so number 2. We got a Spark that deals 2 damage. I think we have to... Yeah, we're going to knock off a shield. Got a Destiny Forger. Oh, do we Destiny Forger Clouded Sapphire into the Tornado of Insight, which then opens our breach? That'd be crazy. I think we do. She can work on getting her own charges. So it's up to 2 more. So we can go Clouded Sapphire into Tornado of Insight, which opens our breach and then starts, comboing the Tornado of Insights. Let's do that. We're going to Destiny Forger Clouded Sapphire into a Tornado of Insight. That goes into our hand. And then we focus this breach, which opens breach 4. We've got 6, 7, 8. We're gonna buy. Do we want to do that? So the one thing about this mage that I'm starting to understand is that like her ability degrades because you don't want to be buying a ton of cards at the end. I think we can like focus and buy and start getting that life generation. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus here for 3. We're going to buy this for 5. And then hopefully she can help maintain life. I get Zana and Brahma mixed up. The other thing is that they've done a great job in expanding the lore of this game. And I didn't read any of the pre-story or anything like that because, well, timing. But they did a really good job, and the story is really cool. Legacy story is really cool. And then just like even in the newer boxes, they've started like adding a campaign type element where you're opening boxes and reading through a story, and it's good fun. It's good fun. Nemesis, any player suffers 2 damage. We're gonna go not Brahmazana over here, and then we've got 2 discard spends 7. Unleash twice. Gravefold suffers 4 damage. This is a power 2 card. Gross. Do we have? I mean, we could definitely get to 7. It's just not really what we want to be. Unleash twice. It's a race. It's a race. So those who have played it, BB, Socratic, and others, not just y'all, but what are some of your favorite expansions for the game? Because there are a lot of them. There's a lot of expansions. Turn order number 2. Okay, so we got Twisted Fang here. We can Destiny Forger. Overall, New Age is your favorite box? Okay. New Age. I don't think I actually have New Age. I have the core, I have Outcast, I have War Eternal. The Nemesis from War Eternal are some of your favorites though. Yeah, nice. I am so proud of this trade. I did a math trade on BGG where it's basically a big algorithm where you put in what you want, you put in what you would trade, and then the algorithm says you send this game to that person, that this person will send this game to the other person, and then you get the game that you want from person 4. And it's a really cool system. Highly recommend checking it out. But I traded, I think it was Maracaibo for Aeon's End War Eternal, the two like mini expansions after both of those cycles, and the Broken Token Organizer and all of the upgrades. I was like, this is incredible. I would do this trade every single day. Into the Wild is your favorite mini expansion. What is that? So like, there's the big box expansions, and then they have like mini expansions that follow the big boxes. Which big boxes that follow? I was gonna look and see if there's something that we wanted to. Okay, so we are going to. I'm going to play Glyph Carver to place a glyph, which is a gain 1 charge on Fortified Frost. And we're going to Destiny Forger to destroy a crystal and gain a Fortified Frost and a charge. Put it into our hand. Well, yeah, that was a jackpot. Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, let's go. Let's go. New Age and Outcast are your favorite big boxes. I really enjoyed Outcast. I thought Outcast was the first one that I bought. I bought it at Origins last year, where I'd been told that, hey, you should look into this game. And I was like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll look into the game. And I bought Outcast, and it was really good. It's a really good game. I'm going to spend 2 to buy a charge. Destiny Forger on top. Destiny Forger and Glyph Carver is a fun combo, too. Come on, Nemesis. Oh, any player suffers 2. I'm gonna have that be over here. Discard that. Then new card is Unleash. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. There's safe Unleash there. Gravehold suffers 2, taking us down to 21. The players collectively discard 2 prep spells. Then if any player has a prep spell that costs 4 or more, Unleash. Okay, so we'll discard this. And the Spark. Okay. No, it's the Nemesis. Oh no, this is really bad. This is not good at all. Ugh. Okay, any player suffers 2. And then we unleash twice. Uh-oh. Gravehold suffers 4. We're down to 17. 1, 2. Gravehold suffers 2, any player suffers 2. 1, 2. We're losing the race. Any player suffers 4. We're going to take that down to 1. Ow. Just spend 8, unleash twice. The Maw with the lowest life gains 10 life. Oh, gross. That's power 2. We may be in trouble, team. Hey, team number 1. We'll deal 3 damage. Move that Maw token back. Okay. Okay. You can discard a card in hand. To deal 1 extra damage. Don't think we want to do that. We do not. We're going to play Tornado of Insight on breach 4, we're going to cast any player's prep spell without discarding it, then cast that prep spell again. So cast, deal 6 damage. So we're going to do, take this down to 5. So take that down to 5. We don't have any open breaches, so we're going to gain a charge. Cast it again. We'll deal 6 more damage. Take that down to 12. Play Fortified Frost here. We're going to go 1 damage to a minion. We got 2 to buy another charge. This thing's going to kill me so fast. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no. No, I need a lot more money. Never mind. Number 2. We never drew her hand. 2, 4, 5. Okay, so I got Sparks and Crystals. Her deck is not great. We got 4. Got 4 money. I'm gonna go 1, 2. Because I need to check out and make sure what happens when we get exhausted. I think it's not good. Resolve the Nemesis Unleashed effect twice. The exhausted player destroys one of their breaches, discarding any spell prepped. Destroyed breaches can be returned to the box. There's no way to regain a destroyed breach. The remaining breaches stayed in their current positions. The exhausted player discards all of their charged tokens. Actually, okay, so in that case, I just dropped everything everywhere. We're not gonna, because we'll just destroy this. It doesn't say it has to be an open one. We have 4. We have to spend 8 to get rid of that, which we should be able to do next, or in one of the next turns. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, we should be able to buy that off next turn. Statistically, we should have a turn. So 4. Let's just buy some charges and hopefully be able to use the charges before we go exhausted and give Greyfold some more life. Okay. 2, 4, 5. Please give us 8. Oh, we don't have 8. Oh, we can. We can. No, we can't. We cannot get 8. Oh, we can Essence Theft. We can. No, we can't Destiny Forger yourself. We have 7 money. No. That's going to be sad. Okay. Cool. This is going to be player 1. We'll deal 3 damage to there. The nice thing is that we have kind of done a lot of work on maintaining this, and so we have 3 safe unleashes right now, which is like not good, but it is something. We're gonna go here, 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 here. We have a 1 crystal. We'll just play it for nothing. The reason I went here is this is 3 damage, which will move a Maw token, rather than like 5 or 6 doesn't change it. We may actually look at destroying some of these. We got 2 crystals. Some Tornado of Insights. Okay. Oh my goodness. We we are actually fairly close to a W. Or actually no, to ending it. If this goes off, that's going to be very bad. That's going to be very, very bad. It will go off. It will go off because I do not have the money to do it. So, Nemesis, going to deal 2 damage here. I'm going to remove that. And we've got a Oral Carnivore. Reduced to 0 all damage dealt to maws. Persistent. Any player suffers 2 damage. Okay, so we have to kill that. That's unfortunate. Number 1. Okay. Okay, so we are going to do 6 here to take this down to 4. We have no open breaches, so we gain a charge. That's a 4. We're going to cast Fortified Frost, discarding a spark to kill this. We're going to do 5 damage and get a charge. Take that down to 2. Move the Maw token back. And then Spark to knock the... Oh, you know what? We're going to go 7. We're going to go Spark to knock the shield, and then we're going to deal 5 here. And kill that. Yeah, I'd rather do that. Okay, now... we're going to go Tornado of Insight. Fortified Frost. We are going to trigger this. So we're going to cast Tornado of Insight. And then, without discarding it, so 6 damage. We're going to take this back down to 2. I did not move the Maw token back, so it's actually there. And then cast it again for 6 damage. We get a charge. Take this down to 11. Okay, we'll spend 2 for a charge. Oh, it's so intense. It's so intense. This is gonna be hard. The Maw with the lowest life gains 10 life. Okay. If we could probably go Ethereal Hands here. Ugh. 2, 4, 5. That's a tough look. We've got number 1 again. Okay, so we're gonna deal 3 damage. No, because that wouldn't move them all. Take that down to 2. Prep Fortified Frost. We got 2. So we're going to go here. We're going to cast this again. So we deal 3, 3. Everything's at the bottom. So we're actually just going to take this down to 9. Take this down to 8. Okay. So we're at 8, 2, 9, and 2. We'll buy another charge. Because we're just spamming these charges at this point to try and hit our Tornado of Insights as quickly as possible to deal the damage needed to kill the Nemesis. We're not buying into anything. 2 Tornado of Insights, that's going to be pretty nice. We have seen a Nemesis turn, but we also have Zana over here who's not doing much. Okay. We've got number 2. Okay, so Spark, deal 2 damage. We'll kill this. We would get to move it down, but actually, you know what? We're not. Take this down to 6. No, we'll take this down to 7. Just balancing it out. Just balancing it out. That's all we're doing. Essence of Essence Theft. We've got a Destiny Forger over here, which we will... take a Fortified Frost into a Twisted Fang. No, we'll take a Spark into a Fortified Frost. We've got 7 money. We're going to take the Ethereal Hand. Just let us... I probably should have bought one of those earlier. Ethereal Hand allows an ally to draw 2 cards. And I just think that'd be nice. She really does not have a lot of stuff going on for her. We got 2 again. Okay, so deal 3 damage. You can discard a card for a player to gain a life. Take this down to 5. We will discard a card. We will discard a Glyph Carver. And we'll give 1 life here. Take her up to 3. Yep. We'll Destiny Forger. We'll do the same thing. We'll Spark into a Fortified Frost. Now we have a pretty cool hand. We actually can't do anything with it, but it's fun. I love the expansions for this game are kind of their own thing, but my OCD says buy all the things in order. That's fair. I understand that want, but yeah. Ooh, actually, hold up. Before we do that, we're gonna spend 2. We're gonna clear this, so we're gonna give Greyfold 5 life. We're gonna place a charge, and you may cast a card here. We'll trigger that when we gain the card. So, okay. We got a Glyph Carver, which we'll play for 1. Actually, we'll throw a charge out on Tornado of Insight. Okay. Let's see if we survive. I wouldn't necessarily say it's needed to buy him in order. I definitely have not. I don't even know the order. Okay. So we go here. Unleash twice. 1, 2. 1, 2. The Maw with the lowest life gains 10 life. We'll go there. Okay. And come on, move any Maw token 4 spaces forward. Yikes. We'll have Greyfold suffer 7. It's not too bad. Okay. Okay. Cannot have the Nemesis take multiple turns in a row. If we can have our player 1 take 2 turns in a row, we're feeling pretty good because we can destroy a lot of those Maws. Got Nemesis, no. Unleash, move any Maw token 3 spaces forward. Oh no. 1, 2. Did you see the new hero pack for champions? No, I didn't. Did they announce one today? Did they? They did? Nice. That's nice. Now I need to go do that. Angel. Okay, we kind of knew that. Well, cool. I know what I'm doing today. Nice. Move any Maw token 1 space back. Reaction video, here we come. We'll do it live. After this, we'll just do a live Angel. And we'll talk through it because I don't necessarily have the time to do a full video. And so we'll do that live. right after this as a first reaction. So that'll be kind of fun. We'll do that. But I have to figure out how to not die. I actually don't know if I can. One, two, three. One, two. Discard 8 cards in hand. Yikes. Jeez. Okay. Can't really do that. But 1, 2. I think we have to go here. 1, 2, 3. So the players are. I think we lose, honestly. Um. So we go here. Any player suffers 4 damage. We'll go 1, 2, 3. And then Greyfold will suffer 2. We'll destroy this. We lose all of our charges. Then Greyfold suffers 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we do that same thing again. So 8. So if we go 1, and we go 6 here, 6. We go down to 3 life on Greyfold. So technically we don't lose, but move any mall token 1 space backwards. Yay! Okay, so we are exhausted. We have 3 life left here. It's player 2. Stupid player 2 doesn't do anything. 3, 4. Yeah, I did not build player 2's deck correctly. We're gonna buy 2 charges. We have to kind of buy charges because if we don't, we're going to die. We're going to die. And it's player 2 again. Okay, we got Spark. Okay, that's not a bad hand. So we're gonna deal 4 damage. Take that down to 8. Any ally draws 2 cards. 1. More Tornadoes of Insights. Yay! We've got Destiny Forger, which is going to give us... We're going to trash it to give us 2 charges. Prep Spark. And we've got 6. We're going to spend 2 here to give Greyfold 5 life. Take us up to 8. We'll place these out. We have 4 left. We're going to play 2 there. This is going to be close, team. This is going to be very, very close. Where can we watch this? YouTube. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, so this is going to be on... I'm going to post this on YouTube on the Nelson All Over channel, which is the board game channel that I have, on next Tuesday. So it's going to have the recap. You can also watch the recap on Twitch if you would like. I'm pretty sure you can go find the VOD on Twitch if you want to watch it before that. But yeah, so it's going to be the Nelson All Over channel. Come on. It's player 1. Okay, here we go. We got Tornado of Insight. Tornado of Insight. Tornado of Insight. And that's player 1. Yikes. We will... I guess we'll discard the crystal. Or we'll play the crystal. We got a crystal. And another Fortified Frost. Okay. Come on. It's player 1 again. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have 5 damage here, which will kill here. Move this back 2. We have 6 damage, and we're getting 3 charges. We'll deal 6 damage. Take this down to 1. Move that back. We'll deal 6 damage. Take this down to 2. And we're good there. Okay. We'll prep 1, 2, 3. They're going to announce Deadpool last. They like to tease us. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, they will. Okay. We got Nemesis. Persistent. Move any mall token 3 space forward. Okay, if we can draw a... If we can draw a 1, we win. If we can draw a 1, we win. Oh, come on. Oh, I love this game. So 3, 6, 2. Whew. Oh, we... Nemesis, that probably would not have killed us. It would not have. Oh, yeah, we were going to be fine, actually. Because the Nemesis could have taken... Yeah, the Nemesis could have taken a couple turns. Oh, that was exciting. Okay, so now we actually have new Marvel Champion stuff that we're going to be going to, and just doing a live first look, because kind of the way that my day is shaping up, yeah, right. Hey, how's it going, Cutting Linguist? Yeah, it was tight. It was very, very, very tight, but I will take tight over loss any day. I really like the way that these two kind of meshed together. We're able to really support and build up really quickly. And then I also really enjoyed the Destiny Forger plus the relic, or the glyph management over here. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Okay, we're gonna go and do a live first look at Angel, who is the new hero from Marvel Champions. I'm going to do a be right back. I have to make sure that everything is kind of set up on the computer so I can do that. But I'm not going to be able to do kind of like the normal video that I would normally do. Just we got travel and everything. And so I don't necessarily have the time to do that. So what we're going to do is be right back. Come back in a couple of probably about 5 minutes or so once we get all that set up. And let's take a first look at Angel. Until then, I will see you all soon.